Hello, everybody. It's another Sunday afternoon. Over by the wood stove, as usual. It's been a good week. Hope that wherever you're at, whatever you're doing, it's been an awesome week. Wood piles down a little bit. We had snow this week. It's been pretty awesome. Been a long time. It's funny because probably had maybe 2 to 3 inches here, and where my sisters and I live. Normally, they liable to get rain or nothing down there, and we get snow up here. But they actually, I think, had about 5 inches more. They had more down there than we did this time, which is up mountains, which is surprising. But that's okay. It's been a beautiful time. Think back growing up when we was young, the snow was flying, and at the street we grew up on, into the street, it's a big long hill into a field down there. They raised hay and tobacco down there, big long hill. So anytime snow come up, I was lucky enough where my dad worked. They redid farm tractor tar stuff. So boys out there, they's good enough. They'd leave out tars that had a hole in them, the tubes anyway. When I come in, when it get close to snow, they knew I'd be coming by, and they'd give them passed up for me. Big old tractor tars, you're looking at us when we was probably 11, 12, 13-year-old, 14. I mean, you put 3 or 4 across them tubes. It's so big. But we'd get out there and we'd get to run it down. And then we'd have to build ramps, because what's sledding without ramps? So we'd get that packed in, especially good wet snow. If you got packed down right, all neighborhood kids be there, and we all be riding the tubes. And now one year I had a green sled, bobsled looking thing. You sit down, had 2 handles you could steer with, and once you got it flat would jump the jumps. I mean, you could get 8, 10 feet if you hit it right. Now that poor plastic thing, it survived 2 or 3 years, but then the plastic but we learned that if you kept riding it, you pack that snow down, then you build your ramps. They'd be up there about a 2-foot drop or whatever. And at night, for your first night, if you get you some water and throw all the way down through there and just mist it over it, well, by the next morning, it's like a solid sheet of ice. You could flat get a run. There was once, I think there's like 8 of us try to climb on one. And we went there and we hit the first ramp, and it was just a complete pile up. I mean, it was bad. There's kids laying everywhere. But your kids, you have fun. You did that in adults. Even here behind my house is a good hill. Come in one time, and I think it's Christmas. That night it went snowing. We went to ride the next day. Me and my buddy that lived here, and a couple of cousins, and 4 of us got on one. They're like, "Yeah, you 2 lay on bottom, us 2 get on top." Well, that's how we laid. I'm like, "Well, when we get back up here, we're swapping. You 2 lay on bottom. We're on." Yeah. Well, of course, they wasn't planning on that. We come flying off the hill, hit a rock, flipped over, and of course we landed on them because we completely come off. Those on top hit the ground first, and us on bottom landed on top of them. That buddy of mine, he hit a big rock in his hip. We're all laying there just sort of like knocked up, looking around, shaking our heads. He finally stood up, went to rubbing his hip. He goes, "Y'all do what you want. I'm taking my toys. I'm going home." Now, imagine now, at the time, we was about 28, 29 years old. Well, he hobbled off. Well, the other cousin looked at me, that's on mom. He said, "Let's go make one more trip." Well, we did. We made one more trip. And the way this tube went, it should shut down the valley of more, but its side went to one side. Well, we had a hay feeder there, metal one, where we feed cattle round bales. And we slammed into it. It completely flipped us over. He wound up in the feeder, and I was thrown halfway across. I was half in and half out, and knocked the breath of us. We laid there a minute before we got up. He looked at me and goes, "I'm going home too. We should have quit while we was ahead. Lord of mercy, this one hurts." So, yeah, you can't say a whole lot about having fun and laughter. I sit and watch now, and people ride. And, back then, especially growing up, you rode the bottom of the hill, you towed your sled or you tubed back up top, and you did it again. And you see people, they got their four-wheelers, they got everything tied behind it, and flying around driving, which is pretty awesome, because we didn't have that option when we was growing up. Well, is that option you just jumped on, hung on, and flew down the hill and tried to survive. And I have to wonder sometimes if, the way we bounced and flew around and hit everything, I wonder sometimes the good Lord ain't up there thinking the same thing, watching us go through life, banging off of here and banging off of there. And you sort of got to get beat up a little bit before you try to sort of look around and say, I'm done, okay? I wonder if the good Lord just shakes his head and says, well, you had hit enough stuff where you had enough sense to quit, didn't you, boy? But it's been a good life. I can't say nothing. Thankful for it. So, you got to go through all them hardships in life. You got to beat and bang off of stuff and fly through the air. And sometimes you're just flying, you don't even know where you landed. There's an old cliche about, I'm just flying by the seat of my pants. Well, sometimes that's about what you're doing. You don't have a lot of faith in the good Lord. You ain't talking to him. You're just doing it by yourself because you think you got it all figured out. And, well, needless to say, we ain't got it all figured out. At least I don't. Maybe you do. Let me rephrase that. Maybe you do. But anyway, folks, get time to talk to the good Lord. I hope if you are anywhere where the snow's at, I hope that you're safe and you're warm. And I'm fixing to crank the stove back up. This big unit, yes, I like it. It's very nice. You don't have to put no wood in it or whatever, but trust me, when that thing's a rolling coals, well, you'd have to be a trucker to understand that. But when that thing's a rolling, the heat that runs up in here, if you're like me as I get older and you got health issues and stuff, and you ain't hardly as warm as you used to be when you was younger. You got to put a few more clothes on, or you, like me with the heart deals and stuff, you got meds you take. So I wear socks year round. Doesn't matter. I got a pair of socks on. And you think about that. I think about my papa on my daddy's side. We'd walk into his house down there and be on Sunday, and there's old Philco radio, AM radio. 1240 WNTT here in town. Still up, as far as I know. But they had all the local preacher stuff preaching. He'd be there listening to the preaching. He'd sit there in the old rocking chair like this, listen to it. He'd have over in his fireplace, he always got a load of coal brought in. He'd have that coal over there going. And you'd walk in, it'd be just about burn you to death. I've even seen him in early spring, almost summer, have fire over there going. He's just that cold-natured. And if you look most of his pictures, by the time I can remember, he's in his 60s. Most of the time he had overalls on, and usually have a long sleeve shirt on, even during summer. Lots of times he'd have his long johns on, or thorough underwear, if you don't know what long johns are, on, because he's cold-natured. I sort of understand that now as I get a little older. So if you're in that time of life, hopefully your thermals ain't got no holes in them. You're staying warm. But anyway, I hope you've had a great week. I hope you don't forget to talk to the good Lord. Look after him and talk to him. Sometimes just got to stop and listen. Don't forget to be a kid in your heart. If you get out and laugh and play, maybe you just slide off the hill and watch the kids play or whatever, go do it. Laugh a little bit. Enjoy yourself. I see a video the other day. It was a grandfather that was 80. I think he's 80-some years old, riding on his metal runner sled off a hill. So you won't do it again. He's 80 or 90 years old. And he come off that hill riding that sled he'd had when he was young. So, probably in the 30s, 40s. He did rode that, laid on his chest, laughing as he went by. I'm like, now see, hopefully with my age, that's what I'll be doing. I'd rather people look and say, what's that crazy old man doing now? And laugh, because I'll be laughing. I'll probably looking go, well, that didn't work out good. Probably shouldn't have done that, but what a ride. Anyway, folks, have a good week. Be safe out there, knowing the good Lord loves you. And hopefully he'll take a good liking to you, but not too soon. And as always, know you prayed for and loved. Never forget there. Good Lord's always there. As always, Austin.